was quite moved by that song. I saw some meme this week. It said something along the lines of the fact that we need to be quarantined or isolated. At least we have a roof over our head and food in our pantries and places to go. I'll call you up. Yeah, thank you. And not places to go and things to see. Well, sure, by means of the internet, but we are pretty fortunate. We are pretty fortunate. So I'm going to ask you now to breathe with me. We do this at every service. We breathe together before I give a talk. So take it in and release. And again. And release. And one more time, please. Take it in. The word inspire comes from that we are inspiring. We are taking in the Spirit. And expire, we are expiring that, but it is a cycle that comes and goes. So there is an old-fashioned blessing/curse that says, may you live in interesting times. And ever since I first heard it, it has stayed with me because it really is both a blessing and a curse if you think about it. For instance, if may you live in interesting times could mean may you have an interesting and expansive life filled with fascinating people and wonderful adventures. Or it could also mean may you live in unprecedented times, where just about everything you know and count on is being tested and shaken. So I would say that these interesting times that we're having right now are a little bit of both. On one hand, we're traversing through these uncharted waters, and what's happening is that we are discovering a lot of things about ourselves, aren't we? Anybody else? Anybody discovering some stuff about ourselves? We're finding out who we really are through all of this, spending a lot of time with ourselves. And sure, there are those times when maybe people aren't showing up as their absolute best during this time. But mostly what has happened for me is that I'm so moved by the kindness that people are showing to one another and the outpouring of prayers and treatments and well wishes and loving inquiries that I've received. People are calling me and saying, are you okay without your family? Your family's in the States. Are you okay? And I'm so moved by that. I'm so moved that people are taking that into consideration. And here's the truth. The next Sunday will be my 7th anniversary being here. This is my home. This is my home. You all are my family here. You are part of my home. So I'm moved by those kinds of things. I'm moved by the funny and fun memes and the song parodies and the jokes that people are posting on social media. So I'm going to share a couple of my favorites. Here's the first one. This shows Evita, and she says, I kept my promise. Please keep your distance. Don't cry for me, Quarantina. Oh, golly, that one made me laugh. Here's the other one. When your hair salon is closed, but your dog groomer has a cancellation. I have a feeling I'm going to look like that in about 3 weeks, okay? And then the final one, this one is dear to my heart, because anybody who knows me knows that even though Calgary is my home, the Mexican food sucks here. And so this one is Kermit looking out the window and says, I know y'all think I'm okay, but deep down, I just want to go eat at a Mexican restaurant again. That one could apply to the virus, but it could also apply to my life as it is now. We're supporting one another through all of this. And even as well as people are handling everything, others are having a really challenging time, and I know that. This has shaken people's core beliefs. I'm sure a lot of us, myself included, are thinking, how is this possible? I do my spiritual practices. I watch my thinking. I look for the good. I look for the bright side of life. How can this be happening in my world? And I got to tell you, I've gone through that, my own version of that several times as well. I will admit to allowing myself sometimes to get sucked into the fear. Will I get sick? Will my family be okay? Will the center survive? Will I have to go back to the States? Do I have enough savings? These are the things that sometimes occupy my mind. So I'm not someone who likes a lot of change, especially if I don't initiate it. So, this is rocky. This is shifting sands for me as well. So I'm not holding myself out as someone who knows something more than other people. I think the only difference possibly is that I'm pretty well steeped in my conviction that beneath the chaos and beneath all of the concern that we have going on in our human world, there is a part of us that is undisturbed by it all. Ernest Holmes calls it the changeless. And he wrote, behind that which changes, behind that which causes the change, we have found that there is something stable and changeless. Behind the endless process of change and the infinite variety of experience and expression, there is that which does not change. Which brings me to today's topic. Nothing's gonna change my world. And if it sounds like it's a lyric to a Beatles song, guess what? It is. So I'm driving the other day and the song comes on and I'm singing along with it. Nothing's gonna change my world. And I thought, that would make a great topic for a Sunday. In fact, that would make a great topic for this Sunday. Because even though it feels like our entire world has been changed by the experience, beyond the chaos, beyond what's going on in the physical world is the changeless. That part of life that is undisturbed by disorder and chaos. That part of life that is deep and calm and peaceful. The visual image that I have is down in the ocean where it's just calm. There could be waves and there could be storms and thunder and lightning on top, but you get down and it's just calm and peaceful. And when we allow ourselves to tap into that, we find that we can rely on it, even in the shifting and changing sands of today. So the question becomes then, how? How do we do it? It's nice to talk about it, but how do I do it? How do I do it where everywhere I turn is scary and dire news? Well, it kind of depends on which way you turn. If you turn to the news, if you turn to the internet, if you turn to some social media, if you go to you're not as conscious as you are, family and friends, chances are you're going to get more of the same. You're going to get scary, dire news. But if you turn within, you can tap into that changeless. to that place of peace. It is possible. It may not happen the first time you try because you got the monkey mind going. It may not even happen the second or the 10th time. But if you practice it with enough consistency, sitting and turning within, it is possible to find inner peace, even in times of change, times of chaos. One of the things that everybody, if you know me, you know I love technology. I do. I love technology. One of the things I love about it is that there are tools that are available everywhere to get us there. Even prior to all of this, YouTube was filled with meditations and music and movement videos and all kinds of different things. You could find it. You could find this stuff everywhere. There's a relatively new app. You guys may not know about this because I just learned about it, or else I'm kind of behind the curve. A new app that you can download on your phone called Insight Timer. Insight Timer. And it has all kinds of meditations and really cool music and classes, and they're all for free. And then you add to it that because everybody is hopefully participating in social distancing right now, many of our great spiritual leaders are doing classes and talks and meditations and Zoom gatherings for free. For free, as a gift to society to get us through this. So at this point, none of us has any excuse that we don't have enough time or we don't know how to practice communing with the changeless. It is like spirit, everywhere present. So this past Friday, over 200 ministers and practitioners participated in a group prayer call. It was really cool. It was led by the Center for Spiritual Living's field leader, whose name is Sharon Hudson, and our newly elected spiritual leader named Dr. Edward Villon. And first of all, if you've been on Zoom calls, right, it looks like the Brady Bunch. Looks like the Brady Bunch had a whole bunch of other kids too, right? So there on my screen are these little boxes of faces of people that I love, faces of people that I know. It was so gratifying. It was so heartening to see people that I love, because you know what? We're all kind of lonely these days, right? And so to be able to see faces of people that I know and love, it was just wonderful. I was so grateful for it. And Dr. Edwards started it out by reading a beautiful piece by Ernest Holmes that is found on Living the Science of Mind, the book Living the Science of Mind, on page 124 if you want to find it. But it was so beautiful that I decided that I would use it as a meditation, because I think that all of us can stand a little time away from that monkey mind. So I'm going to ask Stephanie if she'll come up, and she's going to noodle. That's a musical and spiritual term, if you didn't know it. She's going to noodle some music behind us. And I'm going to take us into meditation. So I invite you now to begin to relax. Find yourself firmly planted in the chair you're sitting in. Begin to put your focus on your breathing. Just like we did at the beginning, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And find your center. Whatever gets you there, if you want to imagine being under the ocean, in the ocean down deep, or in the sky, in the space, find your center and feel the calm. These are the words of Dr. Ernest Holmes. You have a friend within you who is closer than your shadow. This friend anticipates your every desire, knows your every need, and governs your every act. This friend is the divine within your own soul, the animating presence projecting your personality, which is a unique individualization of the living spirit. This friend within you is infinite, since it is the personification of life. The friend is not limited by previous experiences which you may have, by present conditions, or by passing situations. It has no inherited tendencies of evil, lack, or limitation. It has never been caught in the mesh of circumstance. It is at all times radiant, free, and happy. It is the real person within you that is a direct personification of the universal spirit. It is your inner, absolute, and perfect self. The friend within you is different from all other persons, yet is united with all. Right now, you are one with all persons, all places, all events. The friend within you lives in a state of poise. It is above fear, beyond hurt. It is sufficient unto itself. And the friend within you is continuously looking after your well-being. It always wishes for you to be happy, to be well, to be radiant. It spreads a table before you in the wilderness of human thought. Its cup runneth over. The friend laughs at disaster, triumphs over human failure, and mocks the grave. Yet today it is here. So trust it today. And you may trust it for all the tomorrows yet to come. You are an incarnation of this person, this presence, and this power. It may be difficult for you to believe that there is such a friend, but it is there, at the very center of your being, directing your thought and causing you to triumph over every defeat, for it is an unconquerable hero. The friend who keeps silent watch within you lifts your consciousness to the realization that you are forever protected, forever safe, forever perfect. And so I invite you now to begin to come back. Come back to the room where you're sitting. Begin to feel yourself supported by the chair or the floor, wherever it is that you are. Begin to become conscious again of your surroundings. Wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyes once again. Thank you, Stephanie. That was beautiful. And so, my darlings, it appears that we're going to be in the midst of this for a little while longer. We don't know how long. If we keep going to this sort of consciousness, maybe a shorter period of time, where we are communing with the divine, where we are recognizing the friend, the changeless. In the meantime, I ask you to please use the spiritual tools that I just told you about. Use the internet. It is a gift from the divine in these days. Use the tools that are available to you. Use them to tap into that friend, to commune with that changeless. And remember, again, you are not alone. There are members of our community who would love to help you during this time. If you're in need of support, if you need groceries, you need prescriptions, you just need to talk to somebody, or you'd like to have a treatment, please let us know. Go again to support@calgarycsl.org and just let us know what you need, and we'll make sure that we do what we can. So until we see each other again, please stay safe, stay smart, stay strong, and most importantly, stay home. I love you. I miss you so much, and so it is. Thank you.